Good morning, everyone. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and I saw that Mary was taking this morning off, and I need to work on this project, and I know a lot of you are wanting to see how I do this. And again, this is kind of a technique that I learned from several people, one of them being our dear Art Sherpa that we recently lost, and Shell C, who's been MIA from YouTube for a while, but she has her reasons. And so if you want to learn more about paper piecing, check out Shell C's channel. And if you want to learn about pet portraits, go back and watch some of Cinnamon's old videos on pet painting. And you'll get a lot of techniques and ideas from the two of them. And if I can remember, and I'm going to write it on my drop paper amongst the cat hair. Of course, there's cat hair. Why not? I'll put a link to Shell C and to the Art Sherpa. And I'll put their links below in my description when I get done. So you're working on your canvas a bit more, second layer. And good morning, Safia. Of course, you've been up for quite a while at this point. I just sent Scott off to work, so then I checked to see if Mary was coming on, and saw that she wasn't. So I said, this will be my time to catch up on this. I just called it quits on the hat projects because my thumbs were hurting so bad all in here. Even with doing the stretches Barbara told me to do, I was like, I'm done. So the hats and the dishcloths that I had done went to work with Scott. The unfortunate part of that is not very many people work on Fridays down there. So I told him, I said, whatever, people take, that's great. Whatever's left at the end of the day, just bring them home and we'll use them for gifting ideas in other places throughout the Christmas holiday. So that's I guess, all right. I said, well, you could wait and take on Monday. And he said, there'll be even fewer people there on Monday because I guess a lot of people are pairing vacation days with the Christmas holiday. So they're planning to take from Monday next week to the new year off. So, yeah. So I'm going to work on this. This is the last video that I put up. I added to my background. You remember we paper pieced this with a bunch of green. Then I went over it with gesso to kind of knock that green back a bit. And then in that last video, I added the stenciling bits. So I'm just going to set this aside because we're not going to need this again for quite a while. So what I did, where's the original picture? This is the original picture of Felix, the cat. And I blew it way up. And I created a grayscale. So this is the grayscale of Felix. And then on the color picture, and usually I use this, but it's not daylight yet. So I'm going to use this picture. And the reason I say that is because what I usually do is I tape it like this, and then I tape it to a window because I don't have a light box. So I'm going to use this one as my tracing paper thing, but this is a piece of deli paper that Lisa Conley sent me. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trace the basic form for right now. So I know you just go around the outer edge of the kitty. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's art, right? It would be easier if I had a light source. And the cat's ear is clipped off here. They do that for the rescue cats when they spay and neuter. They clip part of their ear off. And I know it sounds barbaric, but then people can look at them and know that they've already been spayed or neutered. And it's really hard to see, but she's got a collar on here. And then there's like a silver ring. And then I think this is a little copper colored jingle bell or something right there. And then I can't really see what's going on. And the reason I tape it is so I can lift it up and set it back down. I'm going to cut this excess off kind of in the way. Let me just take a peek at what's going on at the neckline. Oh, I see. So there's that ring, and then there's another ring that goes through that ring. And it comes up and around like this. That's something I might need to add with a silver Posca pen or something. I can't really see. Let me get the little picture back. I think he actually has some kind of weird harness on, maybe? No, it's part of the collar. So there's a collar bit here. And what I'm doing is I'm marking the, this is the buckle. I'm marking the outlines of the different shades. And this goes all dark down in here. And so it helps to have your original little picture so you kind of know the shapes. And then this is up under the chin here. I think comes behind there. Something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then we got the back paw is here in amongst the grass. Again, we're going for the basic shape at the moment. And comes back. It's like she has a bunch of stuff on her neck, but I might just avoid that altogether. And then this paw goes off the edge of the paper here. And if I'm looking at this leaf on the original, the leg comes out somewhere along in here. It's really hard to see. I'm going to hold it up to the light, see if I can see it better. Okay. That's why it's good to have this up on a window where you can see what you're looking at. And then there's this leaf here. So I'm going to trace the leaf around. Basic shape of the leaf. This, I think, is, can't tell what kind of leaf this is. But you can see that the edge of this leaf has got some discoloration in it. And I would try to pick that up some. And there's a lighter section right there. And then the leaf kind of curls around here. Oh, and there's a blade of grass that comes up right there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Can't really see what's going on inside the leaf. I'm just going to do the basic leaf shape. And we got a blade of grass there. Looks like there's another leaf here in the background. Oh, looks like there's a point of the leaf there. All right. Let's see here. And the tummy's down here. Something like that. Let me look. Yeah. The kitty cat goes along in here. Okay. It's so hard to see where all this is, but then this facial fur is somewhere in here. I'm just kind of guessing at this point. And I could go ahead and put her eyes in. She's got some highlights, and I'll just put a couple dots there. And I'll put this eye in here. And she's got like a funny highlight there, and then there's like a lighter shade of orange up under there where there's a shadow. And this eye has a little bit more orange in it around the pupil and stuff. That one's going to be some tricky paper piecing there. Lift this up again. Oh, I was going, what is that white spot? All right, then her nose is in here. I really need a light box. Let me think. How can I make it'll flash y'all out? I'm gonna have to hold it up to see where her nose is. So her nose is like right in here. And it's kind of a shiny bit there. And then this comes up. She's got a, or he. I keep saying she, but it's a boy cat. And then I'm going to bring in my grayscale and kind of keep everything layered here so I can see it. But on the ear, there's like a darkness around the edge. And then that comes down here. And then this is like different values, and it's split right about in here. And then this part of the ear that's inside, this is the purple area, and it comes down and does like a little curve spot there. You're just looking for the basic shapes. And then this just goes up to the edge where her ear was, or his ear was clipped. And then this has a little edge on it. And then this is all purple, and it comes down to like there. And then there's a light section where I use lighter papers here in the center of his head. And he's got some lightness over this eye. And then there's like a teardrop shape right here of a real light gray. And there's a little bit of lightness under his eye. And then there's like a light spot here. And he's got a little lighter section that runs along up under the eye. This is not going to be perfect because I don't have a light box, but I'm going to get a portrait done. And down the back of his head, there's a highlighted area where sunlight's probably hitting it or something. On his back, there's a little bump that goes up darker, and then there's lighter gray comes down the shoulder and over that way, kind of like that. And then there's a little light spot that's right behind this leaf. And then the hair goes lighter farther back. And there's a little bit lighter shade here. That's, you're just kind of dividing him up. And then he's got a lighter shade in here, kind of, sort of. Usually the grayscale will help you with that too. You can see here's the lighter spots that I'm talking about, and here on the head, there at the back of the head, around this eye. Actually comes around under the eye a bit. And then his nose has a little bit of lightness at the bridge of his nose. I don't think his nose is quite right. That's why you do it in pencil. So let's see here. Yeah, because it looks like I might have to wait for daylight to do this. It looks like this side of the nose is here. And then this side comes up over here. And actually this side of the nose has got a light spot at the top of it, a highlight. And then there's just a little bit of highlight on the top of the nose there. And then it just goes dark, dark. So different shades of dark there. Maybe put some dark in for the nostrils. Don't see his mouth at all. Can't even see hardly the split. I might do some lighter papers where where his whiskers come out on either side. Something like that, maybe. His collar is looks like a taupey color. I don't know. It's really hard to see what's going on his neck. So I might make that up as I go along. So now what I'll do is I'm going to leave this taped to this, and then I'm going to do all of the cat's paper piecing on this piece of deli paper, and then I will go and I will cut out around his edge, and then it gets glued down to the canvas. What I want to do now is get the canvas back and kind of just cover where the canvas would be. So if I put him on here, see, I'm not going to have to paper piece this whole thing. I want this cat to start there. Maybe come down a little bit. I'll just set this on here. I know it's at an angle, but that's okay, because that'll save me a bunch of paper piecing. I didn't even have to do the leaves, and I'm going to just cut this off on the pencil line I just drew. There we go. I'll just toss that away. So now the paper piecing only needs to happen on this part, which is good. All right, so I'm going to pull out the colors that we made in the blacks and stuff, and we'll just start playing. So we need the, let me just pull all of the paper out here. And I have some other copies. Let me just pull this paper out. This is all the paper I put together to do Felix. So I got some different copies, and you can see the purplish colors in his ears. I might keep these reference photos where I can see them just off to the side. So these is what I picked for his body. All these blues, dark blues and blacks. There's some purple. That's some dark purple. This is really for the ear section. And you can tell I've got way more paper than I'm going to need. So we'll set those aside to do that purpley area in his ear. Save the blues for his body. I got a lot more purple than I needed. And I'm probably not going to use a lot of these blues. I'm going to pick out the darkest colors. And there's some gray where I can do like the really light stuff. Some more purpley. I just went in my stash and I pulled out the painty papers. This is the stuff I pulled out for the eye and the copper bell. So we'll pull that out, put that over here. What I like to do is to do the things that are very definite first, like the purple inside the ears, and go ahead and do the eyes. And I think, let's see. I think the rest of this is what I had for the background. It is. So I'm going to put these back in the bag just to get them out of the way, because we don't need any more paper on the table than we have. Good morning to everybody that's watching and lurking. So if I look at Felix in the picture, this is a good purple. This is a good pinkish color. But to get those different values that are in the ear, I'm going to use at least 3 different papers. Yes, Cole, honey, what you want? This is too light. This is more for the body. Maybe a little of that for the really darker value. This is almost too dark. That one's a good one. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, I got 5 different prints here, but we've only got this little area to glue into. Let me let Cole back out where he can be with Greg, or he's going to keep meowing at me. Yes, I know. He saw that Greg's light was on. I'm going to try doing this with a glue stick. I'm not sure how that'll work. I usually use Yes Paste, but I'm just not feeling it today. Let me see what I've got. I've got a couple partial spools of Extreme, and I just tear the paper and stick it on, and I'm using teeny tiny little pieces of paper. So I'm just going to tear a little bit of this off of each one of these because I only need minuscule pieces. Scott and I went to meet up with people he used to work with at Bose last night, and we had a really good time. But we were sitting outside at this brewery. Oh my word, it was cold. And one of the guys went and moved one of those outdoor heaters right up behind me. They only had one lit. I guess they ran out of propane, but yeah, it was cold. All right, so let's do our lightest values first, which are kind of in this area of the ear. So let's put a little bit of this in there. If you tear toward yourself on the piece that you want, then you don't have any white. And if you get a squared edge, don't worry. You don't have to make it perfect. Hi, Ray. Because as you go, you'll cover that up with the next color. You'll see what I mean. I'm going to kind of put this along right in here. And if you get a piece that's too big, that's okay too, because you can, the next piece you put down, you can make a smaller piece. And I'm going to just get a little bit. And if you really want some different value, you can layer it. So I'm going to put this on top there. I'm looking at Felix's picture here. A teeny tiny little piece is all I need. And I got a little bit of white because I tore it the wrong way, but I can cover that with another bit, the next color. And you'll lose where your lines are, but that's okay too, because it all works out in the long run. This is all about the layering. You see, I've about covered up that whole bit where we began. Then I need to move into some darker colors. Let's go to this one next. I'll just pull off a little piece. And I'm sorry if I'm not too chatty, but I kind of have to pay attention to where I'm going. We'll put that on like so. And the white edges you can also cover with Posca pens later, or just a tiny bit of paint on a paintbrush if you need to. And then we'll do a little bit of the really dark. And let's see here. And this really is all in the layering. Yeah, I'm going to put that whole piece down there. And when I put this over onto the canvas, I'll just use matte medium. This is the part I hate about gluing. I hate my hands sticky. I hate it. It creeps me out really bad. All right, so let's get another little piece. Just layer this up. All right, so I'm going to say the inside of that ear is pretty good. Actually, this needs to come up higher. I'm looking at the picture, and I need that kind of, we didn't use any of this, I don't think. So I'm going to pull some of this, just a little piece. So I don't know how long you guys want to hang with me paper piecing, because it's a long process. And I'm just going to pop that on there. Some of that will probably get covered up with some black here in a little bit, black or dark blue or something. We might put this on there. I might even use a little tiny piece of this to cover that little bit of white. And I got more white. We'll set that piece down if I can get it off my finger. So pull it toward you. That's what I need right there. And it's little teeny pieces of paper. You can do this technique with fabric too. It's another long, drawn out process, but it can be done. I'm just trying to show value change. I really can't stand my fingers sticky, so wouldn't fabric be fun? That's what the art quilt community does. Is it's collage with fabric. So yeah. All right. So now let's look at the clipped ear. And if you look on here, he has a lot of really light, that light pink in there. So I think this needs to be the biggest portion. So if I look at that picture, and I just kind of try to tear the shape that I want. And we'll stick it in there. Piper's digging at the door that she wants in now. And we'll just plop that on there. It's fun to watch them come to life with the paper, but it's so time consuming. Come on, honey, I don't have a lot of time to wait on you. Go on. She likes to watch Greg take a shower. She's a weirdo. Can your shapes also? Well, you really want the torn edges so they blend into one another a little bit better. You could cut them, but I prefer tearing them because it really does make them look better. And you just have to remember the piece that you want to keep, you need to be tearing toward yourself so that you get the shape that you want without all that white paper on there. And you're dealing with curved shapes, and they're not even, they're very random. Actually, this needs to go here. And again, if it goes past your idea lines, that's okay. They're just guidelines. You can fix that later when you put the darker colors on. I'd like to get this finished and take it up to my neighbor this weekend. Oops. Okay. Let's see. I used this for that part. And I've used a little of that in there. Could use a little of it over here too. I had thought about just tearing a pile of paper, but with it being a black cat, yeah. I've been struggling with this whole idea of doing this. That's why I've put it off. I've been horrible. I've put it off and put it off. I knew I needed to do this for a while, but she asked if I would do it when I gave her the copy of the cat they had that they'd rescued, that he died of a brain aneurysm in their arms. He climbed in their arms and just passed away. He used to come visit me. He was one of the original strays that we would feed when he showed up and that kind of thing. One of the neighbors called him Rusty Big Balls. I can't remember what my neighbor actually named him. But he was on death row, and Sandy saved him. He had been trapped, and he only had like a day before he was going to be euthanized. So she paid the fee and got him neutered and took care of. And then he was an indoor cat with them for quite a few years. Let's see. Sorry, I may have a cough this morning for being out in that air last night. And you want the random odd shapes. I'm looking at the picture, not looking at chat. The chat's quiet this morning, which that's okay. We're all just getting up, except for Safia. She's beating her canvas up again. Art really is about the layers. I don't think there's a piece of art out there that's not devised of layers, if you think about it, It all takes layering. Again, I'm not worried if this goes past my little guidelines because I can fix that. Okay, so I'm going to say the inside of his ears look pretty good. And I'll just leave those pieces there. I might put the bigger pieces of those back in my bag. of paper just to get them out of the way. And I'll set these over here, including the tiny little bits that I might need to revisit later. Okay, I always like to do the eyes next. And these, because they are very round, a lot of times I will just cut that shape. Or what you can do is you can punch them out if you wanted to. So if I'm looking at his eyes, they are really, really yellow. So I have this, and these I will cut. And I just cut a circle like that, and then I just start playing with it. So that looks pretty good. I'll cut a little bit of that off and see where I stand. So the eye is here. And these don't have to be dead on either, because you can fix the shape. It's actually more of a curve than that. Okay. Take little cuts. Little cuts go better than if you try to cut the shape all at once. That looks pretty good. And might just round it just a little bit more. Right there. All right, we'll stick that on. And then I'll have to look at the cat to get the shape of the pupil here in a minute. Because on this eye, it is very much almost a diamond shape. I've got this really nice deep dark purple that could be cool for the pupil. In fact, I think it might be the go-to, but I'm looking. There's some black on here that I could utilize, and on there, and on there. So where's Felix's picture? I need to cut his other eye from that. I really like this dark purple that I had to begin with. I think I'll use that. We need just a little teeny piece that looks. Let's go right in here. All right. And then his pupil would go in there. And it is rounded at the bottom. And this particular eye, it almost, because of the way it is in the picture here, okay, it almost looks like it goes to a rounded off point at the top. That actually looks pretty good, except I think it's too thin. I think it needs to be more rounded. Let's try it again. I've got this piece here. And I just keep trying until I get a shape I like. I'm going to have to lose my sweater. I'm starting to sweat sitting here. I bump the heat up for Scott in the morning, and then when he leaves, I turn the heat. Him and Greg leave, I turn the heat way down because I don't need the whole house heated up. I just need where I am heated up. I'm going to peek at the background. Another good reason to have this here. And I can actually try my shape and see if I'm close. Oh, that is pretty good. We'll use that. And it does not go to the top of his eye. It comes down some. So this is perfect. That's why you tape your paper so you can lift it and see. And it is like right. It's more this way. Oh. Probably got it too low, but that glue is going to grab. Oh, that's pretty good. We're going to call it good enough before I mess it up. Now I'm going to lose my... Don't let the proportion difference change you. This picture is slightly bigger than this one, so don't look at this one to reference that. You've been doing it the hard way. I learned this method from Chelsea. I watched her do a bird one time doing it like this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a game changer. But Shell, on her older videos, you can learn a lot from her. This eye is very rounded. I'm going to cut another circle out of here. All right, so we've got that. I just find a part of my circle that kind of matches what's already here. And then I just start trimming to get it to fit the rest of the way. And I know the top of the eye is here, like in here. Okay. And then on the back side, this curves up. It's all trial and error. And I'm going to say that looks pretty good. This little piece here that I drew around that's lighter in this picture, it's one of the pinky purples. So I'll put a little teardrop of pinky purple right there. But let me put this other pupil on, get some of this off my finger. And this pupil is a little bit bigger. You lift this and look, it looks a little bigger, but I don't know that it is. Let's see. Let's see how close I got to it. Okay, it's shorter than that. Hope I didn't cut it the width off too much. Let me see. Actually, if I turn it this way, that looks pretty good. We're going to go with that piece. And that one goes a little bit higher on the eye. Some of the lights, the highlights and all of that, I will put on with the Posca pen later. All right, so this here. Taking a peek, it goes about right. Like this. Let me look. Oh, it's pretty good. Actually should be turned a little bit, but it's stuck, so we're going to go with it. Looks a little odd, but it's paper piecing. All right, so I need a little bit of the darker purple. Let's see here. It actually looks pretty light. Let's use this one. Might actually have a piece of this already torn. When I said I would do this, I did not realize it was a black cat. I was like, oh my gosh. It's a black cat, literally. Totally. Black cat. Not prejudiced to black cats. I was like, how in the world am I going to paper piece a black cat? This is a piece of deli paper. Lisa Conley sent me a whole bunch of deli paper. I have used other papers, but the deli paper works the best if you can get your hands on it. I've used tracing paper. The only thing I will say about the tracing paper is I had trouble with it bubbling some. It's not terribly bad, but it did bubble some. So just an FYI on that. All right, so now I'm going to look for those lighter values. We got the eyes in. Oh, I guess we could do, I'm not going to worry about that right now. We'll put the collar bits on last. So I'm going to start working with the kitty colors, which is all of these blues and purples. So I'm going to look for my lighter values. That's mid-range, really. Don't really want to put green, but there's some gray. That reads a lighter gray. And that reads kind of light. So we'll take those three. We'll use those for our light shades here. And again, I'm just going to pull a piece off from each one because I don't need to have all of this paper in my way. And I'm going to look at my picture, and periodically I can lift it because I got it taped. I can lift it and re-verify where the lighter sections are. You can also pull out your black and white picture, which I've put somewhere, and just have it handy for, values. This isn't the greatest. The printer, because it's blown up so much, it really distorted it a good bit, but I'm going to set that off. Just get yourself lots of reference photos. That helps too. All right. So the center of the top of the head up here, we'll just tear a piece for that. And you can go past the lines because you're going to cut the cat out anyway. And I might just tear some of this off so I'm not wasting a ton of my painty paper. And see, I'll just glue that in there like that. Good enough. And it'll look like I've really messed her up, but when I cut it out, let me make sure I can see my lines for cutting out. Yeah, I can still see the lines because the paper, the back of the paper is white, so my line is still going to show, and I'll just cut along that when I get there. All right, so let's get some more of that color because that seemed to work pretty good for the white areas here. All right, so let's cut. Let's see if we can tear something in that shape. So always tear toward you so you'll get the value change. You can always tear another piece and glue it over if you get, you know, where it doesn't look the shape you want it. That looks about right. Oh my goodness. I hate when there's a water line break. It messes everybody up. I saw Kathy Whitney got her a new dishwasher, so I know she's happy. I didn't get any glue up here. All right. And then let's see, there's some lighter bits all along in here. There's different lighter bits, but what I'm thinking is I might use some different values of that. The nose really has a really light bit on the top of it. Let me do that nose bit first. I might do that in two pieces because it goes on the top of his nose as a highlight here. I'll just set that up there. I can always make it smaller by layering a piece, you know, over the top of that. I just need to get something down in there. Whoops. Let's see. It's got a little bit under the nostril that's really a good bit lighter. Let's see here. This is kind of up under here. Like in there. Oh, Safi has to go. Okay, I missed that part. Lunchtime for Safia. We're all just getting started. It's early morning time for a lot of us. So yeah, just look for the value changes. Let's see what we've got here. I always doubt myself when doing this kind of stuff because it's not something I do every day. And it's really about just letting yourself play. I'm going to pull that tail off from there. You just went out there, Cole. You're going to have to wait now. Let's see here. There's almost like a oddly shaped rectangle at the top of the nose. So like this. Not that tall though. Let's see. It's just a tiny little piece. Tear some of that off. Stick that on. And it kind of goes right in there. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm not telling you exactly where I'm tearing a shape for until I've tore it because I'm just kind of eyeballing everything. And I have to adjust the size as I go here. So this actually is probably way too big. So like that, stick that in there. We'll see if he ends up looking like himself or if I've just made him look crazy. I'm going to stand up for this one. If I can pull off a black cat. If I can pull off the black cat, you'll do the black dog. Sounds like a plan. Like if this has gone over too far for the area that I'm working on, you can come over that with a different piece of paper. That's the beauty of the paper. It's, you know, it can all be layered up. Look and see what we've got going here. There's like a lighter piece that comes along in here. We got a Christmas party tonight, and I told Scott, I said, I might wear my Christmas dress to it. I don't get to wear it very often, with the one with the cardinals all over it. Might let those two connect like so. If I don't have some different values in here, even though it might look odd, it would just be a solid black blob. So I'm trying to figure out how to get values to show in this picture. That cat's trying to tell me he's in deep despair because he can't get in here. I don't know if you guys can hear him at all. He's pulling all the heartstrings out there. Stick some glue on there. You'll love it. It is better if it sits for a day or two so that the seasoning salt can meld with all the others flavors. I sent my sister the recipe. My sister with the chef husband, they entertain a lot, so they'll probably utilize that recipe a good bit. All right, let me peek. Got a little bit of lighter value here by the, okay, oh my word. You make it very difficult with your voice. You are the loudest cat in the house. Go find Greg. He's trying to get ready for work. Sorry. The grand cat is a nuisance. All right, let's see here. All along in here is a lighter shade. Somewhere in here. And then I was going to do a little bit of strips of light where the whisker area was. But there's like this rounded spot right here. All that area there needs to be a lighter color. And it's got a tiny little strip there, which I might just utilize the Posca pen with a black line there when I get around to that part of it. All right, so I just want a lighter color in there. I guess that'll denote his little pudgy cheek bit. We'll put that on. I'm going to go for it. And again, don't worry if you go over the perimeter line. You're going to cut him out anyway later, so it's okay. I don't want to come onto his nose. My brain is working along here. We'll see if he looks like a black cat when I get done. Okay. I can't see his mouth at all, so that's of no use to me whatsoever. All right, let me put some light on his back. That piece could almost work just as it is. We'll just glue that down just like that. You're getting snow? I know Pam, Stitch It Pam, and Renee were both going to get snow. Pam was getting it yesterday, and then Renee was supposed to get snow all night. She's up near Chicago. One time, Scott had to go to Chicago, and Greg was real little, and he said, "My daddy is in Chicago." And at the motel, I forget what Scott got for breakfast, but he sent to the kitchen that he wanted hot sauce, and all of the Mexican cooks came out of the kitchen and were looking at to see who wanted the hot sauce on breakfast food. Scott loves hot sauce on his scrambled eggs. Just trying to build some different value here at the back. Just some random shaped pieces. And I'm just going to layer it up. Chicago. I can't see my guidelines. Getting glue everywhere. Although it goes way on down, so. Or at least that's how it's going to be on this cat. I get this portrait done, then I've got to do one for Kathy of her Greg that she just lost. She asked if I would, and I said I would. And I'm done with crocheting because my thumbs are about done in. I had, I think, 19 hats, and I don't know how many dishcloths. I did sets, and I did a dozen sets, so 24 dishcloths. So I deserve a break today. Hi, Joyce. The Chinese come out to see who wants chopsticks. Have you seen the young man that can speak all different, the foreign languages, and he goes and gets a pedicure or manicure, and the girl's talking about him right in front of him, and then he'll start talking to her in her language, and she's just looked so shocked, like he understood everything I just said about him. Shouldn't gossip. You don't know. I laugh every time one of those reels pops up on my feed because I'm like, oh my gosh. Can't see my line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your cats are being a pain in their fanny.
Oh, Piper's. She's like, leave me alone. I'm in my room.
Oh, is she in your bedroom?
Yeah. She's like, nope, not coming out.
She can stay in there. I'll let her out.
All right.
She'll dig at the door 5 seconds after you've left for work. I'm almost thinking I shouldn't have added that light gray, but you know what? We can add a little bit of this darker color on top and it'll be fine. Oh, his camera makes you queasy. Yeah. Oh, now she's changed her mind.
She goes over the floor.
I know it. All right, let's shift away from trying to add some lights now. Let's work on a few of the darks, and we'll shift around here. Let's stick that right there. Hi, Janet Nash. We're working on Fritz the cat. Okay. Getting glue everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere. This is the part that I like when you start adding a different value in, because then it's like, oh, there you are, Fritz. Fritz the cat. I'll let this dry good, and then I'll do my part 4. And where we add some, I want it to dry good before I cut him out and glue him onto the canvas. And I do try to, when I'm putting a piece that's basically the same paper, I try to make it where there's a thin point, and that way it kind of blends better. Do I want it to go that way, or do I want it to go this way so it curls on that ear bit a bit? And because it's painty paper, when you tear it into a smaller piece, the values move around. So even though we've got this, you can see all the different values in it. Okay. One of Scott's old workmates that we went out and met. Scott had a blast, by the way. He had a real blast catching up with all the guys he did engineering work with at Bose. And we just had a really good time. And but one of the guys was wanting to buy us around, and I was like, no, it's okay. It's a brewery, okay? And on the food menu, it says that they have tea and Pepsi and stuff. Well, I went to the area where you order food, and I ordered food, and I said, well, I'd like an iced tea. Oh, you have to go to the inside to get that. So I go inside. They don't do any tea or Pepsi or anything. It's all just alcohol. That, you know, you had to get one of their custom brews or a mixed drink. And I said, well, I like margaritas. All right, I'll just get a margarita. $13 for a margarita in a standard beverage glass, you know, about this big around, that tall. $13. And his coworker was like, you want me to get you another one? And I'm like, it wasn't that great. So I don't worry about it. I'm fine. One drink's plenty. I'm not here to get sauced, as they say. It was not good. And that bartender, he thought he had it going on. I'm like, ugh. You don't have it going on. You really don't. And again, don't worry if you go past your lines a bit, because the back of the paper. No, they didn't have any iced tea. None. No iced tea. They didn't do iced tea, they said. I was like, well, then why do you have it on the menu outside? I guess I don't know if they even would have given me water last night. It was odd. Oh, it was so cold. It was so cold. And we didn't eat our whole salads. And Scott said he didn't really want to take it home. The salads weren't very good. It's a really cool looking place to go. But as far as food and drink, unless you're a connoisseur of different beers and you like that kind of thing, Scott and I we don't drink very often. And usually when we do, it's like one drink, you know. And I told Scott, I said, we could have bought a whole bottle of liquor and a mixer for what we paid for 2 beverages. And Scott's like, I know. And then he got the non-alcoholic beer. They actually had 2 to choose from. So that's what he drank last night. The Ozempic that we're on for the diabetes makes alcohol not taste very good. So maybe that was part of my problem with the margarita. But from now on, I will only go to Mexican restaurants for margaritas because they're the only ones that seem to do them well here. Well, Felix is coming along. I've got somebody digging at the door. Why didn't you go out when Greg went out there? Go ahead. Oh, Cole, come on. Why don't you guys line up and go all at once? Sorry, guys. It's cat herding season. I mean, time of day. I'm just going to keep tearing some pieces. Let's get excuse me. My oatmeal is not setting well. Making me burpy. We'll just use some of this. And I forgot what I was talking about. You make a good margarita? I hear a dog. It's not my dog because she doesn't bark anymore because she can't hear, so she doesn't know when the other dogs are barking. The only time I've ever heard her make any barky noises is when she's sleeping. She lays there and goes, boo, like that. She's outside right now doing her morning constitution. Whoops. There we go. I think getting that other piece of paper out was a good idea. Oops, went the wrong way. It looks pretty bad when you are going over the lines. The cat looks like he's developed all kinds of issues. Yeah. I like margaritas, Tom Collins, gin and tonic. Things that don't necessarily use the darker colored liqueurs. But again, we don't drink very often. I like to get a margarita when we go to Monterey's. Or I like the pineapple jalapeno margarita that La Cienega does. It's good. Stick that on there. I guess Greg left. I hope he did, or he's going to be later than anything to get to work. He needs to leave a little earlier because of the fog. We live next to two different rivers, and when that fog settles on Interstate 77, it's bad. This looks like a good piece to go. Up there. Okay. This all takes time. All this papery bits. Whoops. Might as well use some of this that I used on his eyes. Do that right in there. He thinks a tequila sunrise is fancy. Fancy. I might pull this off. I might. You might have to do the dog. Okay, let's see here. The venue that we went to was decorated up pretty cool. And there was a couple local, like the local hospital's oncology department was having their Christmas party there. But we all just stood outside because this was put together like 48 hours ahead. It wasn't planned. And we missed Scott's high school ROTC group gathering. We missed the notification. I don't know how we missed it, but it was last week and we generally go. And so I told Scott, I said, well, we missed it. I'm just going to cut some of this white off on this piece here. See if I can make a jagged edge with the scissors. Because I need just some little pieces. Up here where his ear's been clipped. Oh. Well, I thought you'd already left.
No, I was
Because it's 8 o'clock.
6, 7, 6 on my phone.
All right. Young people, I have a different view on time. I'm going to stick this here. Oh, it's
7:56. It's not 8. Might as well be 8 when you got a 15-minute drive. Gotta stay out of it. He's grown. I like the idea of adding some blue, but I'm kind of holding back. Seeing what I've got. Now, see, this could work here. I'll get down here into some of this here. Just stick that in there. Try to get a good picture of her. Yeah, make sure she's got some light on her because that'll help you. And I know that's way off his face. But I think that's what I need is something. I always hate being late anywhere. My son didn't get that gene. He doesn't care if he's late. Let's pull some of that back off. I might have to go wash my hands just so I can maneuver the papers. Sorry, I've gone into, I need to do this, I need to do that. And I'm not talking. Oh, gotta wipe my fingers a bit. They do look kind of creepy as you go along here. But trust me, it's all a layering process. You just gotta trust the process. The glue is getting everywhere. And if you get to a part where you're not getting enough value, just layer on some more of some of the colors. In tiny pieces, because you can go over top of things with little pieces and you get more value. And if your edges are jagged, then it kind of blends into the piece that's underneath and looks pretty good then. In fact, I could almost come and put some little stripes in, maybe with this blue. See if I can tear some little strips here. Just to create some little bits in there like that. I'll put some of this on his back. I tore it the wrong way, but that's okay. I'm just going to try to fill in some of the black spots. And I come in with small pieces around this. So let's just stick that down there. And Cole's back in, standing behind me, glaring at me. Go lay down in the chair and behave yourself for a while. He's trying to figure out who I'm talking to. Who are you talking to anyway? He's nosy like that. Let's just put that blue right there. Whoops. We'll get some bigger pieces on here just to kind of fill in, and then we'll do some more fill in with some smaller pieces. Yeah. And this could denote where his head is. I like that. All right. Oh, there goes my neighbors. Didn't hear their little boy fussing about going to school, so they must have got him loaded with no issues. Sometimes he runs away from them and gets on his trampoline, and then he jumps and jumps, and he doesn't want to get off. You love it so far? It's coming. Coming together. I hate that this glue costs so much anymore when you can find it. I hadn't really purchased any gifts or made anything for the extended family. I found that mug at the thrift store for my sister. And they've made plans to go up and see my niece's new little house and my parents the day after Christmas, but I can't go because Scott has an eye appointment that day, and I promised that I would go with him to drive him back home because it'll be later in the day, and the sun will be right in his face. I always make my eye appointments first thing in the morning so I can get back home before the sun is shifted in the sky. Let's put a little dark piece right there by his eye. But I'll set this aside to dry once we get it full of paper, and then I'll do another video of cutting it apart and doing the final bits. Probably tomorrow. I'd really like to give this to her this weekend so I can stop the text messages. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. cover that up with that piece of dark now. Piper's crying. What's the matter, honey? I see you took your baby to the door. Dad's gone to work. She has this little toy we call her baby. And when she's looking for one of us, she drags it around. And she's out there just crying with her baby in her mouth. She didn't want Greg to go to work today. And she's not going to like it, but Greg has to work tomorrow. Because the outside crew they hired to come in and work on something messed up a whole bunch of other stuff. Well, I've got some, the blue that you see here is a color called Ink Spot. It's put out by, I believe, Folk Art. And then I've got purples and kind of eggplanty color. Trying to think of all the different kind of a grapey colors in here. Just whatever I had in dark colors. I mean, if you wanted to go, you know, even more colorful, you could open the palette up to anything dark. Deep dark purples. You can make anything dark with a bit, just a tiny, it doesn't take much to turn one color dark. Just a tiny bit of black and it'll be a dark, dark color. You might try mixing some of your paints, that kind of thing. I hope that my neighbor Sandy will like this and that it'll be okay. It's one reason I don't like to do things for other people, because I'm like, I want to do a good job and I don't want to mess it up. And then I worry that it's not good enough. And that kind of thing comes into play. This is that ink spot buried under some black, which I like how it just kind of peeks through. If this glue stick wasn't so empty, I could, I know I have that other glue stick, but I'm trying so hard to just use this one up. But I could use a piece of wax paper then. And see, I could just leave a hint of that blue peeking out from that black. And by having the jagged edge, it kind of looks like fur. That's why you tear. Give it that furry look. Making a mess. I think when Chelsea does this, she uses a brush and matte medium. But again, I'm trying to use what I have to get it used up. So I'm using this glue stick and I'm getting myself, covered in glue. It's quite the messy process, paper piecing. But if you like to get your fingers sticky and gooey, this would be your project. I love to do these. I just don't like my fingers sticky. Oh my gosh. Crazy. let's tear that away. You could use navy blue. I didn't have any handy. But you could even go quirky and do all just values of blue and make a quirky cat or dog. All right, now I want another piece of that same black. I'll stick that on there. I need another wet one. Let's see. I'm just going to stick this one down to fill in a spot. If you put something down you don't like, just wait a minute and put something over top of it. Like, just going to stick that right there. And get some of these other little pieces that have a lot of white on them that can just be a layer underneath that we can put other layers on top of to cover the white edges up. Oh, that's yellow. We don't want that. Grab me another wet one. It says 99% pure water on here. All right. Might get a paper towel too. Get some of the sticky off. Ooh, I need paper towels. Guess I should add those to the grocery list. I do kind of like having my art room right next to the kitchen. The only thing that would be better is an art room with its own sink. I'm trying to get some of the glue off me, so I'll quit sticking to the pieces quite so much. All right. All right, that'll keep me good for a little bit. I'm still sticky. Let's I like how thin that is. Well, I don't like that, but there we go. That'll work. Let go of my hand already. I've been watching Anne Marie's workshop on Instagram while I cook breakfast this week. She goes up live on Instagram for 45 minutes or an hour. She starts at 4:45 a.m. most of the days. And she comes on and she sews for that time. And she's been working on her works in progress bins. She's been trying to get them sewn up before the end of the year. Maybe change some direction too. And some of this at the bottom, I'll have little blades of grass coming up over her once I glue her down. Put some for her paw there. Ah, pieces sticking to me. Oh. Gonna get glue on my scissors now. It'll be all right. Oh, there's no glue on it. Okay, fine. Be that way. All right. Her nostrils are right here. Let's use some more purple. Now Callie's going to start in at the door. Because why not? Stop. My hands are covered in glue. Oh, and the stink bugs have been coming in. One came down on my head last night. Creeped me out. I might not do the whole collar bit. I might just make it look like she's got a bell on. Or he. It's a he. I keep saying she. It's a he. His name is Felix. Oh my word. Let me see if I can let Callie out. You want to go out? Probably getting glue on the doorknob. I've been thinking on this for a long time on how I can make this cat look black and not just use solid black everywhere, you know? People that can do African American skin tones just amaze me. Like when we go to an art show and there's an African American artist that's captured somebody just so well, and it's beautiful. Not that Caucasians are, any easier. It's just the most beautiful browns, and the complexions are just so beautiful. I saw a girl the other day and I told her, I said, "You are so pretty." And I think I made her day, because I got the impression by the way she was walking and holding herself that she didn't believe it. But I was like, "You're really pretty." She said, "Oh, thank you." Yes, the background is finished. We did that in the first two videos. One I did just on my own, just the additions to the background. I did that yesterday, I think. Oh, I like that right there. I'll show that to you real quick. And I tried to pick up some of the background that was in the picture. So that's the background that she'll go on. Or he'll go on. He will go on. I gotta quit saying she. It's a he. I'm gonna pull in another dark sheet that I have made up here. All right. I'll just cut the white off this edge here a little bit. Kind of make it rough looking. Okay. see. See, I took away from that nice curve I had there for the jaw. So what I'll do is I'll tear another piece and glue it on top once I fill this in down here. It's getting harder and harder to tear the pieces because my hands are so sticky. Let's do it this way. Sticky, gooey mess on my fingers, yes. Come on, goober. Let's see. This will go right off the edge of the canvas. Ah! Stick. Oh, what a mess. Get up some of that residual. All right, making sure I'm not gluing it to my main paper. That would stink. Let's see if I can cut some of this off here. Okay. If I do it that way. Oh, oh. All right, I need to get away from there for a while because that's just not working out. Okay. Getting sticky again. Yeah, Mary was on yesterday morning and I needed to get that canvas background done. So I just did a private video while she was on and then I released it later just so I could get the background done. Right. Probably going to use a lot of this. It's just black to fill in. Here now. I'm thinking maybe I should get a palette knife and scoop the last of this out and put it on a piece of waxed paper. All right, and I'm just going to layer this onto the blues and purples back here. The problem I'm having is my fingers are sticky. A palette knife could help with that too. I could smooth with a palette knife or a card. That's what I need, a palette knife or a card. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab one. Since I was by the bathroom, I went ahead and washed my hands because it was really getting to me. All right, let's see here. Inquiring minds want to know, Janet, are you adding to Flo's wardrobe? I've been enjoying Jennifer's adventures on Instagram. She's been just a gallivanting, as they say. Gallivanting around. Let's see, that's pretty. Come on, get down there. This is going to be a really hard area to do on her nose because it's just invisible. I think the nostrils, one is right there and one is right there. Okay. Let's just put a little strip. We'll start working on this nose bit a bit. Who are we talking about? Flo is Janet's fairy, and Jennifer is the little character that hangs out with Flo on the Janet's table, but she's off gallivanting to like Poland and I don't know where all she's been. I've been watching her board those planes and go to markets, it looks like, and visiting statues, and she's just been a gallivanting little critter. I told Scott next time we go out of town, we ought to take Jeff the rabbit with us and make him visit some places so that Jennifer and him can compare notes. I think it'd be funny to take the big rabbit and have him sit in places. Oh, man. Jennifer is off to Poland again. I love when she makes her go. Cracks me up. We're getting to live vicariously through Jennifer. She's getting to go to all these wonderful places. Whew. That yellow piece keeps wanting to jump on. I might have to add some yellow flowers or something. There we go. She's starting to come out of the picture, isn't she? He, it's a he. Hi, Anne. Good morning. I didn't know if you guys would want to watch the process of this mess making or not. But then I saw Mary wasn't coming on this morning, and I said, well, I really need to get that done. And I've been doing the parts with you guys, so I figured, why not? We'll just jump on and I will make a mess, and those that want to watch can watch me make a mess, and then those that don't can go find somebody else to watch. How's that? All right, I want to cover up this white showing paper. I will probably use a heavy matte medium to stick her down once I cut her out and to get her onto the canvas. I'm using the wet one to kind of clear away some of the excess glue. And Anne, you were right. There was not very many people at that venue last night. The food wasn't tremendous. And they didn't have anything non-alcoholic except 2 styles of brew, which I don't like beer. I just don't. I hate it. I think it's gross. But so I got a margarita that wasn't too hot either. So we won't go there because of the expense. We spent about $100 last night just on 2 salads and 2 drinks. That kind of took us aback. I guess we're getting really cheap in our old age. I think it has to do with the fact is we're trying to plan for retirement and the fact that the income will be limited. So we might as well prepare ourselves for that and not live so crazily wild, spending like wild people. Like that there. Let's put that there. I love it when she does start, or he starts looking, the critter starts looking like a critter instead of just 2 eyeballs and the ears on the page. But again, this takes time. You need to take your time with it if you want it to look like anything. You know? Good things take time. Best not to rush through life. I'm going to put a piece of this up here to look like another stripe that comes down off that light spot. And I went and I got this, and then I'm not using it. Okay. This needs to have something to break that blue up. And I want to get the jawline again, back again. So I think I will just tear a strip. To put back where I covered up that nice curve of the jaw. We'll do that right there. But you know, the two brewery companies that we have here, one's in West Columbia, one's in Casey. They're neighboring cities, outskirts, suburbs of Columbia, and they're always packed full of kids. And I don't know if the kids are on mom and dad's charge card, and if they know what they're paying for. But they're always packed. They weren't last night, but I think Ann was right that the kids are probably all, headed home for the holidays. Okay. I want to keep this curve, so I want to be mindful of that, but I want to kind of break this blue up that's on his back and cover that white paper. So I'm going to rip a piece to take care of that. So I can come and we can break that up a little bit. Maybe bring it up here. Tear that off. You cannot come up here right now. You can go get in the basket by the window. I got way too much going on right now, too. Sorry. Getting quite the layering here. Oh, that didn't go as planned. I'm being distracted by my cat. All right, I know this black for his body continues down here. Yep, the mocktails, like that non-alcoholic beer that Scott had last night, because he got a non-alcoholic one. It was $7 for one, because we were at the brewery, apparently. But Scott says when the economy tanks, which it will, those will be the kind of places that close, because people won't have the money to be spending at those kind of places. All right. I don't want to lose that curve. What are you doing, you little nut job? Talking to my cat, not you guys. Sorry. Wasn't calling y'all nut jobs. Seriously. I need to take a break from this for a bit. I need to finish the curve of the neck here and around the face. I don't know how I'm going to sort out the whole nose and mouth on a black cat, but I'll go there. Thank you, Janet. I hope Sandy thinks so too. Let's see here. I like the curve a bit. We're just going to go like that. And again, a lot of this will get cut away. But that's why I'm gluing to a piece of deli paper and not going straight on the canvas. So that way I can cut it out. And yeah. Let's see if we've got... Let's see here. I have to stop and think to myself, which way do I need to tear this paper? Maybe this could be part of the nose. It's still too big. This I might actually cut. If I can get the little bits of paper off, get the shape I want along the top. Like so. We'll stick that in like that. Person must have such depth because of your painty papers. Well, I purposely made these painty papers for this project. And I was thinking, when I look at something black and the sun is hitting it, if you think about indigo buntings, they look like this amazing blue bird, but they're not. They're black. It's the sun reflecting off them that makes them look blue. You can look that up if you don't believe me. Because Scott and I looked it up because we were like, what kind of bird is that? And they were like, indigo bunting, but they're a black bird that just looks blue in sunlight. And we were like, oh, that's so cool. And they do not like their picture taken. We have tried and tried to get some pictures of indigo buntings. And as soon as you get them in frame, they take off. They're like, no photography, none. Nope, 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 nope. We said you could not take pictures of us. Think again. All right, so we'll stick this on here. Cover up a little bit where there's too many things meeting. Here we go. Whoops. Might stick this one up. Where'd it go? Stick this up here. If you start getting a buildup of glue, just use your wet one gently. You can lift some of that glue back off. So is it starting to look like Felix? I think it's coming along pretty good. You want to go outside too? That would be great. That would be two of you out on the porch. Ah. Howard's being a good boy, sleeping next to me. He likes to hear me talk. So he's being good. And I'm going to cut some of the white off because I don't want to have to cover up much more white paper. I'm just cutting along the edge. And we'll just put this in here to keep the layering going. I'm going to accidentally glue that on. Oh, Heather's gone for her walk with her Poochie. All right. Hopefully you don't have a ton of snow to wade through. I've got a sharp line right here that it keeps drawing my eye. I'd like to get rid of that. I'll put this down at the bottom. Here. All right. Got rid of some of that sharp line. I thought I had glued a strip along the bottom. It must have come off, or I didn't do it after I thought I had. That's where his leg, it comes out over this way. Let's just glue this right there. And I covered up a good bit of that other. That's okay. As long as I don't glue it to the table, we're all right. Got way too much glue on there. It'll be all right now. There we go. All right, I got another little piece that needs to come across there to let's see. Sorry, I'm going quiet. I'm thinking. Gluey fingers everywhere. It's okay. Whew. Good morning, Peg. Everybody's saying good morning to Peg. I don't see you, but I see people saying hi. So hi. I'm taking some things I learned from Shell and putting together this cat for my neighbor. It's actually a gift for a friend of hers. So I'm hoping I'm doing him justice. and that she'll be okay with it. And there's Eternity. Good morning. I hope your mom's doing okay. I heard from Beth that she took a tumble and broke her arm. Is that right? That's rough. And yes, the cat's ear is flat across the top because it was neutered by the basically SPCA, and that's what they do. They cut the tip of their ears off to let people know that they've already been taken care of. I'm gonna put just a little piece of this blue up there to fill that little teeny hole in, and there, it doesn't want to stay glued there because I'm too sticky. Stop moving, just stick right there. That's where I want you to stick there. All right. We've got some area here that needs to be covered up. So I'll get a piece. That yellow, I keep picking up these yellow bits that want to get stuck to something. Hi, Joyce. Joyce snuck in. I didn't see her sneak in. Joyce, I got your, I've been getting cards, you guys, and I've just been opening them and enjoying them and adding them to my card banner behind me. And I figured I would just go through them as I take them back down instead of going through as they come in. So I am getting your cards. I'm just going to share them later. I didn't want anybody to think I'm ignoring them or anything. It's just I made the decision to share them as I took them down because I'm thinking I might do this year's Christmas card album right after Christmas so that it's all done for next year. And that way, if anybody wants to use their cards in an album this year, they could. So am I getting enough depth? That's what I need to know. Am I getting enough depth and variation that it doesn't look solid black, that it looks like he's got some definition? I want to do Felix justice here. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that was almost. I tell you what, companies irritate me. You know why they do that is because the senior employees are at the top pay range and they want to hire somebody fresh out of school at the bottom of the pay range. It's also companies can save money. Back in the day when I first started working, you worked for the same company your entire life. And now they just want to rotate you out. What is the rule now? If you stay longer than 3 years in any one job here, you're considered stagnant. If you don't take, growth opportunities, like you don't go into management or you don't progress or anything. Okay, enjoy your hoovering. I love that you all call it hoovering. I love it. I love the different terminologies. Like y'all call sweaters jumpers, and we call jumpers the little dresses that I think you call a pinafore. And a pinafore to me is not a jumper. A pinafore to me is more like an apron. It's just so funny, the different terminologies. I love it. I'll go there real good. Yep, rich get richer. I'm planning to have a good garden this next year. I've got plans. I'm gonna put in another garden. I hate that I just dismantled my raised bed garden that I had. I'm not gonna do raised beds. I think they dry out too fast here. So I'm just gonna do a flat garden like my grandma did and just mulch heavy. Use a lot of mulch. There's one of Tippy's hairs wanting to be added to the, well, it could be Tippy or Howie. They both have, well, they all have white hair on them. Oh, let's see if I can. Somebody's digging at the door. Probably Piper. I don't want to lose the roundness of that eye. I think I will cut this at a curve. Oh, I'm not getting enough curve in that. Let's see. It's hard to cut a small piece. Who's digging at the door? Piper. These cats are giving me a workout today. I tell you what. Honey, he had to go to work. I'm sorry. You can come in. You gonna go take a towel nap? My little grand kitty that's as wide as she is long. She's solid, man. She's a solid cat. Greg's girlfriend said that cat needs to go on a diet. And Piper whipped her head around like, who are you talking about? Obviously not me. I'm beautiful. Grandma calls me a princess. I'm Piper the princess. You can't tell me I need a diet. If I'm a princess like this, I don't want to lose weight. It was kind of funny the way she whipped her head around like, what did you just say to me? Suspenders are called braces. Yep. Thinking of the different biscuits or scones, but they're not really. It's funny, the different terminologies. I love it. Cookies are biscuits. Oh, and y'all say pudding for dessert, not just pudding. Pudding for us is like chocolate pudding, vanilla pudding, banana pudding. It's actually a milk pudding. And now I'm getting a workout today. I would prop the door and just let them go in and out, but the stink bugs have been coming in. And what's bad is they don't line up and all go out at the same time, and then they don't line up to all come back in. So I'll go back and forth, back and forth. Again, I don't want a jagged edge at the eye. I really want that to be nice and round under her eye, but then I want to tear it so it has a jagged edge away from the eye. So if I put that on right there, I need to curve this a little bit more. She's going to see if her boy is in the back. I say boy, he's grown, but he's gone to work. So she's going to be disappointed when she goes back there. She'll just climb into the top of the clean towels. There's a bath mat laying in the clothes basket that I'm keeping towels in right now while the hall bathroom is still under progress. And she takes her a towel nap. And she can lay in there and she can glare at my cats and they don't know she's there. I think that's sticking up right there. We can fix that. There we go. really having a problem with the whole nose business, but we're just going to get the color on here. And then once I get her matted to him matted to the canvas, I'll come in with a Posca pen and clean all that up. So I want that to come like this. Yeah, animals are smarter than you'd think. I agree. I think they think I need more exercise for the number of times I open and close that door. The dog, she either has to be monitored with somebody because she's blind, deaf, ain't got any teeth or anything, or she's got to be in her own backyard where she knows where she is. What I might do is get a, when it's dry, I might just take my Stabilo All pencil, and wherever I've got a white line, I might just do Stabilo All on there. Or something like that. Oh, you're on the listening mode? That's fine. Oh, she's found the catnip ball. One of them has. I hear it rolling around. It's really interesting when they find that at like 2 a.m. and you hear that hard catnip ball going boom, 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 bang, boom, 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 bang. Yeah. I feel like I've lost that light area there, so I might come back in with something in the lighter value. Let's see. I think that's what I had there, but let's see if I've got something else. Oh, I hear growling. Maybe put that there. It's the two girls, Callie and Piper. They're fussing at each other. Y'all be nice. Piper's like, no, I don't want to. I was here first. She's the oldest cat in the house. She's quite bossy. Oh, Piper, honey, don't be ugly. She said, you can't tell me what to do. I'm Piper. I'm in charge. This whole place is mine. Oh, I kind of like that purple. It really kind of pops a lighter area up. I might put a couple of these up here. Tear it towards you if you don't want the white paper showing on your piece. And again, I think I will use a Stabilo All when the glue has dried. We're getting close. Got a few more areas that need some paper, but we're getting there. Let's put that right in the middle. I wouldn't mind some more of that. Why did that do that? Because I tore away. That's why. Tear toward yourself so you get the part that you want. I might use some of this over on that gray that I don't like that I put over here. So you see, if you do something and you really don't like it, just leave it and you can just glue something over top of it. It's okay. It can be done. It's going to take me a while to get all this glue off from me. I'm going to put that so it goes past her where her lines are. His, it's a boy, it's a boy. Felix the cat. Making a mess again. Oh, last day of school. I bet they are wired. My sister said that last week before a holiday are useless. They're all talking about going to grandma's and what they're going to get for Christmas or what they think they're going to get for Christmas. All right, I am going to cut a few pieces just so I can fill in spots, but I'm cutting them kind of fur-like so that they'll look fur-like on here now. Where I've got all the layers, put a few that look kind of like hair shaped. I really don't like that gray at all there. Hi, Pam. I've been on here making a mess for a while now. I sent the hats and dishcloths I had made with Scott to work today, and he reminded me Fridays are probably not a good day because not very many people are there. And I said, well, just take them, and whoever gets something, gets something. I said, you could wait and take them Monday. He said, there's not going to be anybody there Monday because most people have lined up vacation time with the Christmas holiday break. So they're taking the whole end of the year thing off. All right. I think we're getting some good value. I'm actually getting a little bit happy about it. Let's put a little bit of this kind of purpley color, which I'm kind of tickled with having this on here because I think it really adds a good bit here. Nope, other way. Oh yeah, let's cover up that kind of whitish bit. Once you get to this point, it's really about just what's pleasing to your eye. She's coming together. She. I'm obsessed with saying she. I think it's because I have Juanita outside and she's a she. And she's doing great. I think she's got more than one family feeding her now, though. She's She's plumping on up. Let's see. The nose is in there. So I was thinking it really needs to be lighter up in here. Okay. Let me put that. Let's see. All right. Sorry guys, I'm at that point where I'm getting excited about it and I quit talking because I'm like, oh, I want this to go there and this to go there. But I'm trying to bring in some of this happy little purple color because I think it brings out the light areas even better. Let's see, pull toward me. Oh. Oh yeah. Might have to go wash my knees. Strike is over. Woohoo! I wonder if we could start mailing. I wonder if the US is opening back up to sending to Canada or if it would just sit. I don't know. Interesting. I'll have to check the USPS site and see if they're opening it back up. I really hate that gray. Hate is such a strong word. Miss Catherine used to tell me it when I was at Joann's. That's a strong word. All right. That makes me happier. Let's see here. Her leg, his leg, his. Reminds me of Monty Python. There aren't any women here, are there? No. I'm getting so sticky, it's grossing me out. Okay. Thank you, Anne. I think he is looking pretty good, too. Yeah, the nose ends somewhere in there. Piper, what are you doing? She's probably thinking, none of your business. I do what I want. I'm Piper. I'm the princess. Can't tell me what to do. She really is a little diva. I do need to leave the house today. I need to go ahead and get the ingredients I need for the macaroni and cheese and the broccoli casserole that I said I would make. I just ripped off a bit. Honey, quit tearing at the doors. Piper, you know I'm talking to you. Quit digging at the cabinet doors. My little demon princess. Almost did an Ann and glued the wrong side of the paper that time. Okay, let's see what we've got here. I just want to tear that off. Ugh. I might have to go wash my hands. Goes that yellow piece trying to jump on again. Let's see here. Let me go wash my hands again. Too much glue. I've almost got it covered to the point where I can stop, but I just can't hold anything. Hi, girlfriend. Dishwasher's done too. Woohoo! End of the game. Now, what happens to my nail brush? There we go. Just a minute, Piper. I'll let you out. All right, I think I can finish up with this here. All right, you can go back out. I'm going to feed you guys when I'm done. Oh my word, you guys. Let's see. There's a little bit more black needs to be filled in right here, I think. Let's look. Yeah. The collar, his collar is right there, but I'm thinking of just doing like maybe just a colored ring later with the bell hanging on it. I don't think I have any silver paper to cut a ring to put right there. Because I think I could make it look like the collar was up, in the fur. So let's see, we need a piece of black right here. Oh, that feels better. And I got a big old glob of glue right there on my thumb. Let's try. So remember to pull it toward you if you don't want white paper visible. And you can go over your lines, remember. Pull it toward you. I'm just going to plop this on here. Okay. I think I will. I like the Stabilo All idea of covering up the white paper here and there. I did it again. No, I'm doing it wrong. Let's turn it this way. Toward me. And toward me. There's the gray that's on the top of his nose is there. That's okay. But right there, we need a little something like so. We could actually glue that down just like that. Short walk. You're back on the big screen. Dun, 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 dun. I'm back on the big screen. All right, let's, I don't want to cover up all of that gray. Sometimes a wet paper towel is really more like what you need to get the glue. Because I don't care what those baby wipes say. They all have some form of soap in them. Just makes it a soapy mess. See, we got just a little pie-shaped wedge that needs to go in here where the jingle bell like thing is. And I think something with the blue in it would make it, maybe even this way, make that copper color pop when I add it. That'll work. Let's put that there. Okay. I'll have to raise and lower this to see where I need to go with the next little bit here, but that'll be all right. And a tiny little piece of black. Black. Let's see. I've been watching Under the Dome. It's based on a Stephen King book on Paramount Plus. It's kind of interesting, kind of creepy. Now she's digging. She wants back in. I don't know what's wrong with her. She could come in and just eat my cat's food, but she wants me to do her bidding, her food, her dishes. Honey, I can't just have the door open. Dad doesn't want everybody out there. All right. Stomp on through, stretch your stuff. Don't tell me what to do, she says. She's going to come strutting through. Okay, so now we got, I'm telling you, this takes longer than you think it does. So thanks for hanging in there with me. And I think I'm getting enough variation that it's going to be okay. Just need to fill in some of these spots down here now with some little pieces. I shouldn't worry if it's got the white paper on it because I can cover that up later. So basically I'll just rip some pieces here. It happened on 5th Avenue. Oh, the show did it dirty. See, I don't, generally when I see Stephen King, I veer away from it, but I don't know. It was a good show to have on while I was crocheting all those hats. Because, you know, I didn't have to pay 100% attention. It wasn't like I'd miss a whole lot if I wasn't paying attention. Well, any of those that are based on books, you know, they or the TV shows, they start off really cool and all, but then by like maybe the second or third season, the writers get bored and then they start just doing the most ridiculous, stupid stuff, and I quit watching. It's like their creativity for that storyline is gone, and it's obvious. It's just so blatantly obvious. I think that's when the actors start getting, put just up. They've put up with it long enough. They're done. There's certain storylines. The actors are like, we're done with this storyline, and y'all are making us act ridiculous. And then the actors start leaving. The ones that built the story from the beginning, and then the whole story just falls apart. It's like, can't watch anymore. Sorry. They can't act anymore. They're done with it. I think there is a time to a story. The books don't go on forever. So the TV shows should have like a planned time that they end. You don't want to bore your actors to death either. I think we got some color going here. Hi, Piper. I'm going to put you on the internet. You keep acting crazy. Oh, she's mad. Can you hear her nails are out? She's stomping. She wants it to be all about her. Don't you, Piper? Don't you get in my fabric. She keeps glaring at me when I tell her don't. She's like, you can't tell me what to do. Piper, can you all hear her nails? Stephen King just scares you? Yes. I think that's his whole idea. Scare the shit out of us. When Scott and I were dating, we went to see Christine. Oh, that scared me. Freaking car wouldn't die. All right. I think we might be at a point where I can say this is pretty good and done. I think I've got paper everywhere I need it. But the good thing about this is once this is good and dry, I'll cut it out and apply it to the canvas, and we'll get together to do that. And then if I get it on the canvas and I'm seeing empty areas, I can glue more paper down. And then we can add Stabilo all to where there's pencils. We can add shadow lines under the eyes. I can bring in some colored pencil maybe and put that little orange above his eye. I don't know where that little picture is, but there's a little bit of orange shadow. It's where the shadow falls on that yellow and turns it orange up under this eye. It's not on this eye, but on that one. But there's lots of ways you can fix it. So this is Felix. Felix the cat so far. And I'm hoping you guys kind of enjoyed the process. And we've been on here for 3 hours. Holy moly. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. I don't like to do really long events, but this is one of those I wanted you to see how long it takes to do a paper piece project. Don't be in a hurry. All right. Thank you guys. And I'll see you later. See some of you in about 30 minutes. All right. Bye.